Did Thames embarrass Africa at the award show? You saw her little comment on Twitter. What did you guys think about the red carpet at the Oscars? Today we have actor, producer, style star Eku Edewo, who's going to tell us some of her takes on of the red carpet, some of her thoughts on some of the outfits that were worn. Let's get into the video. All right, Eku, tell me, what were your thoughts on the Oscars?
To be honest, I actually thought that this was one of the better Oscars. I had felt like in the previous years that the risks that people took didn't pay off. Um, so as much as I appreciated like people trying to do different things, I didn't feel that old Hollywood glamour, which is what I look forward to with the Oscars. I kind of feel it's the pinnacle of the awards season. It's sort of like the grand finale where I expect everybody to put their best foot forward. And I actually really, really liked this red carpet. There were major highlights for me. What did you think?
I mean, for me, I love Thames. Um, Lady Gaga, I was more interested in her helping the camera guy than what she was wearing. But let's go through some of the people that you thought that you enjoyed, and then we'll get down to it.
My favorite looks were Fan Bingbing, Jessica Chastain, Nicole Kidman,
Yeah.
um, Angela Bassett. Um, I also loved Margot Robbie's look. I didn't see that because she didn't walk the red carpet, but then she came out to give an award, and her outfit was pretty stunning. Cara Delevingne had an amazing moment, I thought, on the red carpet. Um, which was like a big statement because obviously like she's trying to get into the acting space in a really serious way. So she really definitely stood out as a movie star. Um, um, Michelle Williams.
I love the people that you mentioned, from Cara Delevingne, Nicole Kidman. These are all, I don't know, for me they're very typical looks. Would you say, like, it doesn't, for me it doesn't stand out as, like,
So for
any, I
me,
mean, it's just very cliche, if you ask me, no?
no, to be honest, I didn't find their looks cliche. I also really loved Kate Blanchett's look. Like, so I guess for me, the type of style that appeals to me is always about impeccable workmanship. That is what I love when I come to this red carpet. I don't like things that look um avant-garde but not couture. So when I mean avant-garde, where it looks more spectacle than craftsmanship. So it looks exciting, but when you get into the nitty-gritty of it, you don't really see that work. So it's the reason why I really liked Anna de Amas's dress. I thought that was stunning work that went into it, but I was really frustrated that the whole season her hair and makeup team were going for this makeup, no makeup look, which constantly made her look washed out. And I thought never enhanced these outfits. And because she was also pushing blonde, which was obviously, and she's supposed to be like sort of channeling Marilyn Monroe, like one of the biggest icons. I felt like they were trying to steer so far away from the bombshell look that they just washed her out. Because I did think her dresses was one of the most stunning dresses, but the look, the overall styling was understyled for me.
So what you said, it was quite bland for you, but do you think that maybe because she's just so stunning, and her face kind of just is everything to me when I'm looking
Yeah,
at
that's
this? It's her face and her hair that stands out. Do you not think it complements
but
it?
it's no, I actually think that because she's so stunning that she can afford to have like she can pull off a slightly like I think the lipstick could have been a slightly stronger color because she's so pale. She sort of like just look washed out, and then just having a LA sort of blowout, this sort of I don't care type of hair for me did nothing for the look. It doesn't have to be over the top, but there was literally for me
But
nothing.
okay, another
And
question: isn't the dress isn't it giving? It reminds me of Marilyn Monroe's gown at the Kim Kardashian
the
wore, the
naked
like the
dress.
tight fit, the same sort of like styling in a way. Do you think that that's what they were going for?
Yeah, they were going for the naked dress. I definitely think there was an homage there because especially if you look at the shape of the body and then obviously what they switched up with the fishtail kind of bottom, that was very reminiscent of Marion Cotillard when she won um for Ren for the biopic. of the French singer. What's her name? I can't remember. The lady that sang Rien de Rien, that song. But the difference with like with the Marion Cotillard, because like I felt like she really styled it up and made it her own. I just feel like the dress, she's so beautiful, like you said. She's got a beautiful figure and the dress is so stunning that everything kind of speaks for itself, but nothing speaks for her. So there isn't a personality little to it because Marilyn had a personality, right? Marilyn was the big blonde hair and the sort of big, the plush lips, the big winged eye. She had a look. I think that I don't know who Anna is in terms of her style. If I looked at her on the red carpet, I just imagine she's somebody in her day-to-day life, just wears jeans and a t-shirt and doesn't particularly have a point of view. She just has great stylists that pick great pieces from great fashion houses, you know?
Right, right. So another one you mentioned was Kate Blanchett, which I actually love this look. It's different. It has a very masculine vibe. What are your thoughts on this outfit?
I think Kate is one of the has one of the greatest personal styles of any of the actresses. She understands fashion. She understands her relationship with clothing, and I feel like she always knows what she wants to say. I felt like she knew she wasn't taking home this Oscar, so she wasn't coming out to sort of like over, she wasn't there to sort of say, oh, hey, everybody look at me, but she's also reminding you that she's a veteran and she knows what suits her and she doesn't need to try that hard. Do you know what I mean? But I think Kate Blanchett is one of my favorite. I don't think I've ever seen her put a foot wrong
Right.
on the red carpet.
Okay, and then Fan Bingbing, right? This was very, over the top, in your face. Do you think it was an attempt to sort of showcase a Chinese superstar and make sort of a loud noise that I've arrived on the red carpet at the Oscars?
Yeah, definitely. So when I was reading sort of the press around her, a lot of people had said that they hadn't heard from her in a very long time. Um, and so there was a lot of mystery around, where she was or what she was doing. And this was a very, I think clothing has a lot of power. I think that you can harness that power in terms of the relationship you have with the media and what you say. And I do think it was a very big statement that I am this global star and I am this Asian powerhouse. And when I come out, I will make the statement, and you will know who I am. It's almost like you're not gonna forget me. And I was like, yes, I love it. I loved the dress. She looked unreal to me. Um, the hair, the skin,
In
the
terms
the
of
the
her makeup, her face.
she was, yeah, the dress as well. You see, I feel like when you're gonna deal with such proportions, working with designers that understand balance perfectly is what makes that dress work. Because in some other hands it could have come off really tacky, but but it didn't come off tacky. The choice of green against that silver for me was like she looked like a emerald ring or like some sort of emerald piece of jewelry come to life. I think she looked amazing.
I thought it was
Like a
interesting though that you said that she looked unreal, like like her face, the, like a doll almost. But that's kind of the look that they're going for in China, right?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, the perfect
When you see all
skin,
the
the
Chinese
porcelain.
influencers and the Chinese.
Yeah, the porcelain skin, no blemishes. Yeah, it definitely is something, and it does sort of play homage to the type of, to their disciplines in terms of like Chinese theater. They're very they're very traditional culture, and I like that. What I like that reflects. I think a lot of times in the journey of the Oscar races, a lot of people get washed out. Like you lose personalities in just trying to fit into the Hollywood cookie cutter sort of thing. And maybe that's why I really love someone like Salma Hayek. I feel like Hayek has always embraced who she is as this Latina, sexy, sizzling, curvy, loud, and she has always kept that personality trait and never broken away from it, even when it wasn't cool to be curvy. She was like, "This is who I am." And I think a lot of people can get washed out, in the in trying to comply to what they think is going to do well fashion wise.
So okay, but Selma Hayek, what do you think about her outfit? It's giving to me. It's
I
giving pinata. It's giving. I don't know. I don't love it.
I I love this outfit. I love Salma Hayek's outfit. I think it fit her body amazingly. She always knows how whoever dresses her makes her look so much taller than she is because she's very petite. She's a very petite woman. She's a very curvy woman. And whoever's dressing her always knows how to bring out her best assets without making her look vulgar. And at the same time, just, she's just for me so spicy and amazing. And when you saw that dress translate on camera, wow. She looked like she was on fire. Like she just looked literally emoji flames when she was on screen. And for me, that's also part of when you know that you're a presenter,
Fair
you know,
enough.
when you know you're presenting an award, the red carpet is not where you're going down. You also have to come out and stand out on that stage for the few minutes that you come out.
So, you speak about knowing that you're a presenter. We had a conversation about Thames, but before we get into Thames and talk about, the whole fiasco, another person you mentioned was Jessica Chastain. What were your thoughts on this outfit? Did you like it? Rate it for me.
Jessica Chastain is another person that's always going to be, well, this look, this is a flawless look for me for her. I think Jessica Chastain has decided that she is an old Hollywood superstar, and has her red carpet style is, she's a Jessica Rabbit. Um and she's like and she knows how to make Jessica Rabbit formal, because she's got a phenomenal figure. She's not got small boobies. She's got, a woman's figure. She's got that red hair that she always has in the 20s, sort of style. Her makeup is always on point, and she's an example of somebody that has very pale skin but is willing to take makeup risks, that make her pop. So she looks like a movie star to me. That's why I love Jessica Chastain when she shows up to the red carpet.
Yeah, no, I hear you though. I definitely see that
I
with
mean,
her. So, what are your thoughts on Thames? The whole Thames look.
so it's interesting for me. As soon as I saw her, I thought she looked stunning. So I thought the stylist did a really great job in putting her in something that made her look. She looked great. She looks like in the best shape she's ever been. Her skin was glowing. The makeup was flawless.
Right. The dark
Um,
skin in contrast with the white. I think her skin was
yeah,
glowing. She looked really good.
she looked angelic. She looked really great. It's weird because I typically mine's just a personal thing. I'm not really into structural these type of structural gowns on red carpets per se. Um, I sort of appreciate them on a runway, more so than
Like Cardi B
um
wore it. Cardi B wore it to the something
to
similar
like
to the Oscars. I saw some people comparing her to Cardi B
yeah
sorry to
to
the
the
to
yeah
the
to, and I
Grammys.
to the Grammys. Yeah, so for me, and then obviously, there was the challenge of then having to sit in those little cramped seats, and blocking everybody that people weren't happy about. But I for some odd reason, I forgot that she wasn't the one that was
So here's
singing
the
on that
thing.
track, and I thought she was going to perform. It would have been a great performance outfit, you know.
Right. So here's my thing, right? So to me, it's giving the whole her blocking someone and social media going crazy about that. To me, it's just giving amateur, and it's not her fault. But typically, you're gonna have a gown for the red carpet. You're gonna have a gown for where you're sitting down, and if you're performing or even presenting, you're gonna have a gown for those situations. But I think to see an Afro beats artist in the room, I'm you, and being included, being nominated. She won an Oscar. Sorry, she won a Grammy, and she was nominated for an Oscar. Like, it's so impressive, and I think she's just gonna come back next time. Next time, just get a better stylist. If you ask me, that understands sort of the logistics about all of these things. It's not just about looking good for you, but it's about telling a story from the beginning to the end of the event. So, what are your thoughts on that?
I mean, some people would say that there's no bad press, right? So maybe his stylist did do a great job. Maybe it wasn't the type of attention that you really want. That people that you didn't win the award, but then everybody's saying that you were blocking everybody else. But then she is trending, and the designer who made that dress will be getting clicks, and she will become a
That's true.
parody.
That's
She will
true.
be, you have young, she'll be one of the people that young girls are making tissue paper dresses of the same thing as a joke, or people are actually trying to copy the actual outfit. So she did definitely make a statement. I mean, to be honest, me personally, maybe because I'm such an advocate for African brands, I would have loved her in an African designer. Um, I don't think who she was wearing was an African designer, but that's just me because I typically am someone that does champion like our artists on the continent, and I love wearing. I'm wearing a Nigerian designer now. I'm always sort of pushing that narrative, and I felt like this is the first Nigerian nomination. It would have been lovely to have a little bit of the story carried along in that way. Yes, it's great that her stylist is Nigerian and her team is
So I
Nigerian.
thought that
She is a
was,
Nigerian, but
and I agree with you because you brought up Fan Bingbing, who's from China, and she represented sort of that Chinese imperial, aesthetic from everything from her makeup. It's very Chinese. It's very Asian. So she was really representing her culture. But with Thames, she kind of just sort of, yes, she stood out in terms of having a great outfit, but in terms of like standing out on a cultural perspective, standing out for other reasons. I feel like she could have been a lot more colorful and a lot more representative of Africa, and made a bigger statement and even like made a bigger impact. Thoughts on that?
no, I agree with you. I definitely think that, it's, how she's a great artist. The probability that she will be nominated for another Oscar for a soundtrack probably quite high because, it is probably quite high because she does have that talent, but you don't know when next that opportunity is going to come, right? And I'm not saying that she needs to go in there all Wakanda because that isn't the point. But um, that isn't the point. But I do feel that even working with some of our, I personally think that even some of these, if she wanted to do something structural, like I keep saying that De La Segu makes this amazing metallic ashoke that easily a custom piece could have been made for her to suit the aesthetic of the Oscars as well as to reflect our heritage. And I was just surprised that I don't, that wasn't built into her story. Um, but everybody makes a choice, and I always wonder if with these Oscar,
But that's the
um,
thing, though. I feel as though that she would have stood out in a different way. She would have stood out in a way that sort of like not only is what she's wearing unique, because I to me when everything I see on the red carpet, it's when I said generic, I think maybe I'm just tired of Western culture, right? Um, but I feel as though she could have done something and stood out and been unique and also been a showstopper in a more impactful way than she was just by blocking somebody.
yeah, no, I think we're both agreed on that. And
Right.
I would love, and I would love to see her. I would love to see her in stuff that's a little bit more cultural. I think that is the word. I don't need you to wear like Iran Buba, um, and but if you decided, I mean, to wear something that was totally cultural, there are people like Tubo Reni, these sort of designers that do take those aesthetics and make them red carpet. Um, and you would have and she I think she would have stood out for being authentic and unique, which is what I feel um people are drawn to these days, this narrative of people kind of showcasing a lot more of who they are.
I agree with that. So before we finish, I want to ask about Rihanna. What are your thoughts on this leather dress thing that she's wearing?
So the Alaya dress I loved. I think Alaya is always known for form, and them tackling the pregnant form of a woman, and I think slaying it as well as they did was very exciting for me. Um, I really, as I mean, this is another thing as well. I personally don't think that people need to change many times unless they have maybe lots of different responsibilities or they're trying to make a statement. I mean, typically when you're nominated, people usually don't change. They pick the one look, but so she had a performance look, she had this look, so that made sense. I didn't like her third look because that's what I saw later. The sort of Tiffany blue fur kind of stole with a satin kind of drop skirt and gloves. That look for me was no bueno. But the Alaya look,
Ooh.
was the Alaya
Right.
look for me
You know what's
was
funny to me? Rihanna Rihanna was more African than Thames with her look,
yeah,
if
and
you
yeah,
ask
in
me.
terms of
But you know what I thought about the leather.
no, no, I agree with you what you were saying. You know, you looked at her and there was this sort of like earthy, um, queen mother, and then up top sort of hair pieces. I do see the aesthetic, the sort of woven leather skirt. So definitely that element was there. And then this side, it almost looked like like a wrapper with a wrap top as well. So I can see that.
So I would say with the Elia dress, I believe that's the first black dress that she wore. I agree with you in terms of
Yeah,
the form fitting, and I thought they captured that in a very unique way. I personally just don't love a black leather dress. So for me, that threw me off a little bit. I would have liked to
I
see another
brown.
material used.
I think it's
But
brown.
hey, it's not bad. Okay. And then the second dress where she performed in, I did not think it was flattering. It made her look bigger than she is. And I don't know, like I don't
I
know, I
think
didn't love it. The last look also made
the
her look
second
bigger,
outfit
but
was
I liked the colors and I liked the African vibe. Go on, sorry.
no, I think yeah, the second look. I think she was wearing trousers. I think that's what that was. I mean, the second one didn't look like it was any designer per se. It looked like they made it for performance. So if it was a designer, then there's that issue. And then the third one, once again, didn't look like someone specifically designed that. It did feel a little bit like, a tour look or something. I don't know. The first look definitely, I think the first look was a chocolate brown. I definitely think it looked black, but I do think it was a chocolate brown, which and it was softer than a
Mm.
harsh black. Um, and for me contrasted really well with the reds that she chose to offset that. Um, yeah, but Rihanna was one of the was she's I mean she's an exciting she's someone who's excites me how she approaches fashion, and I definitely think that she's always gonna come out on top with at least one look. If she's one of three, is gonna be a winner.
Definitely, definitely. Well, thank you for your thoughts. And let everyone know where they can find you.
Yeah, you can find me on Instagram at Echo Adewo. I'm on Twitter as well, Georgie Echo Adewo. And on TikTok, I'm Echo Adewo as well, even though I don't really post there.
All right.
You can,
And
you
I'll
can,
see you in the next one. Well, I hope you like that. Make sure you guys like, follow, subscribe again. Like I said, take a moment, like, follow, subscribe. And before we go, make sure you check out my new app, Ray the AI. It's your on the go writing assistant powered by ChatGPT. She's an influencer. She's on social media. Check her out on Instagram. You can DM her right now on Instagram at RAETHEAI, Ray the AI. She's on Facebook. She's on WhatsApp. You can DM her and get some work done. She's your personal assistant. She'll do stuff for you, or personal writing assistant. Go check her out and let me know your thoughts. Leave a comment down below. Don't forget to like, follow, subscribe, all the above. And I'll see you in the next one. A peace.